Have you ever cut up a quilt to make an article of clothing? I finally got brave and got out my scissors, cut up a quilt, and made this fun quilted vest. I'm Lisa Lund from Shadow Valley Quilts, and I'm going to show you how I did it. This is the pattern I roughly followed. It's called Simplicity 1499. I liked it because it has a collar, which is hard to find in a vest pattern. Also, it's written with quilted panels as a fabric option, so I figured it would work well. I used this quilt made from my Fair Isle Breeze quilt pattern. I like the way there's an open negative space as well as more densely pieced areas, so that would give me flexibility in placing the designs on the vest. I also love this quilting. The panto I used is called Paradoxical from Long Arm League, and I thought the dense geometric quilting would work really well for a garment. I like vest A in the pattern, but I knew going in that I wanted to modify several things about it. I didn't want the zipper, and I was pretty sure I didn't want the pockets. Also, this vest is quite fitted. The back is made of three different pieces, and each front side is made of two pieces. I knew I didn't want to cut my quilt into all those small pieces because it would break up the designs on the quilt. I wanted one piece for the back and one for each front side. Looking at the pattern, I decided to use the back from vest C, which is only two pieces, and cut it on the fold to make one piece. On the fronts, I just figured I'd do my best to combine the two pattern pieces into one. I knew I had to figure out the pattern before I cut into my quilt, so I decided to make a prototype out of an old sheet. I started with the back piece, and using the vest C pattern piece, I pinned it to the sheet on the fold and cut it out. For the vest front, I placed both pattern pieces for vest A on a double layer of the sheet. I lined them up as well as I could and pinned them to the sheet. Then I cut out the piece. I had to improvise my own line to follow in a couple places where the pieces come together. Merging these two pattern pieces into one means I'll lose a little bit of the fitted shape of the vest, but I'm okay with a straighter silhouette for this piece. When I had the back and the two front pieces cut out, I basted the shoulder seams and the side seams so I could try it on and see how it fit. I liked the length, but I felt like it was a little bit too tight. So I went back to the drawing board and cut out some new pattern pieces, modifying them slightly to give a little more room. I basted them together again and tried it on and liked the fit much better. Now comes the slightly scary part. I've never cut up one of my quilts before, and it was such a strange feeling. My biggest fear was that the vest wouldn't turn out and I would have ruined a perfectly good quilt for nothing. I took apart the vest prototype and used the pieces as my pattern. I spent quite a bit of time deliberating about the placement. The sheet was slightly see-through, so that helped me visualize what the back of my vest would look like. I decided to utilize some of the negative space in the quilt as a design element. I pinned the sheet piece to the quilt, took a deep breath, and cut into the quilt. Then I removed the pattern piece and inspected my quilt back. I'm really happy with the design placement. I repeated this process with the vest fronts. I didn't have a lot of quilt to work with that had the designs I wanted on the front, so I had to place my pattern pieces very carefully. I knew I wanted the pieces to match in the front center, even though I wasn't putting a zipper in, and it took a little while to settle on the best design placement. I'm happy with what I ended up with. The other thing I love about this quilt is the fun Liberty fabric I used on the quilt back. I love this little bird print, and I think it's going to be super cute on the inside of the vest. Once I had the front and back pieces cut out, I sewed the shoulder and side seams and tried on the vest. Pretty good. I finished the seam allowances with a zigzag stitch with a tiny, tiny stitch length. And here is where I got a little ahead of myself. If I had been following the pattern instructions more carefully, I would have realized that I was supposed to hold off on the binding until the collar was attached, so the whole outer edge of the vest could be bound in one piece. Instead, I went ahead and made the binding and bound the front and bottom edges of the vest right now before adding the collar. This ended up causing me some issues that I had to deal with in the next steps. After I added the binding, I went ahead and pinned on the collar facing, getting ahead of myself again. I wanted to add a hanging loop, so I needed to make and pin that under the facing. I've seen other quilters who use selvages they've saved to make their hanging loops, and I love that idea, but I'm not great at saving my selvages. I do, however, have some of Ruby Star's Selvage Magic fabric, and that worked just fine. I chose this bit that says climb ever higher, and that worked perfectly. I sewed it into a tube, right sides together, and then used a small pair of needle nose pliers to turn it right side out. I pressed it flat with the seam in the back and pinned it to the inside of my vest underneath the collar facing, then pin the collar facing over the top of it. Then I sewed the facing in place. I love the way this loop turned out. If you're wondering about this black seam here, I at one time thought I'd try covering the seams with binding, but I did one seam before deciding on the zigzag stitch method I talked about earlier. I'm going to need to do more practicing with that seam binding technique. Once the collar facing was on, it's time to finish the collar. I attached the collar piece to the outside of the vest, opposite the facing, and sewed it in place. I pressed the collar and the facing both up towards each other away from the vest. Then I basted the collar and the facing edges together. Now it's ready for its binding. But I decided I wanted to add a label with my logo. So I unpicked a little portion of the binding, slipped the label in, and re-sewed it. To bind around the collar and armhole curves, I'll need a bias cut binding. To make the binding, I cut a 20-inch square of my black fabric, then cut it in half diagonally. Then I sewed the pieces back together along their short edges, forming a parallelogram. I then cut 2.5-inch binding strips along the bias. Then I sewed those strips together and pressed the long strip in half lengthwise. And then it's ready to attach. If I had done it correctly, I would now be adding the binding to the entire edge of the vest, from the collar, down the front edge, around the bottom, back up the other front edge, and back to the collar. But as it is, I had to taper the binding in to blend in with the binding I had already attached. With the binding on, the vest is finished. I love how it turned out. I'm happy with the way the designs match up in front, and I especially love the back and how it shows off the cool quilting. The hanging loop and the logo label are fun touches that make it extra special. I learned a lot in the process, and I already have plans to make another one and try to make fewer mistakes. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for this quilted vest. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and let me know what you think. Are you going to make one for yourself? We'll see you next time. Bye bye.